Hi there, I'm Dr. Jacqueline Chassie Smeaton with Emerson Ecologics and Wellevate. And I'm so excited because yesterday we launched a partnership with Diet ID, and hundreds of you have actually tried Diet ID in the last 24 hours. And if you've tried it, you know this can be really transformational for your patients and clients and for your practice. So we do have a full webinar scheduled for December 3rd with Dr. David Katz. Stay tuned for more information on that. We'll really be diving more into the science behind Diet ID there, but I did want to give a quick demo because we've had a couple of questions of how it works, what it costs, things like that. So first of all, this tool we are paying for. It's totally free for practitioners. We really want to make sure that you have the tools you need to be successful in practice. And when I saw Diet ID and really learned more about it and the way that it can just replace the food frequency questionnaire, that's the gold standard for collecting a patient's nutritional information. Wait until you see how quick and easy this is. Like, patients will find it so much easier, and it makes it scalable for you to be doing this as a service in your own practice. So before we dive into that, let me just show you a little bit about how the tool works. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So you should be seeing my screen here. This is our Diet ID landing page. You can get to this a few different ways. One, some of you might have seen it from the link in your email. You can certainly save that email. On our Emerson homepage, it is scrolling in the banner. So if we wait a second, hopefully that my screen's not frozen. Here we go. You can get to it from the Emerson landing page, or if you use Wellevate, I just logged in here. So this is the practitioner dashboard within Wellevate, and you can see the link here. This will permanently live here for you to be able to get to that Diet ID landing page. So this is your practitioner landing page with more information about the Diet ID tool. I'm not going to walk you through everything we teach you on here because you certainly can do that yourself. But I will point out there's a great video, about a 2-minute video that David Katz and the Diet ID team made that really overviews the utility of the Diet ID tool and kind of the science behind it. But when you're ready to get started, you can scroll down here to this kind of getting started section. And essentially, the first thing you need to do is get the link to your patient so that they can get started. We've created a couple of sample emails to make that very easy for you. The first is if you wanted to send it to an individual patient. So this would be useful. Like, I saw a patient yesterday, I want her to complete this. You can click to expand, and we just pre-populated an email that you can copy and paste. You do need to fill in, obviously, patient name, your name at the bottom, and then this is very important, the email address where you wish the results to be sent to so that your patient knows where to send them. Eventually, we'd love to integrate this into Wellevate, but we didn't want to wait for that before we sent it because we're just so excited about the tool. So at this point, when the patient completes the assessment, they'll email you the results. We did get some questions about HIPAA compliance, and there is no PHI, protected health information, collected by Diet ID, so it should be fine to transmit via email. If you were really concerned, your patient could print their report and fax it to your office as a different way to get it to you, but there is no PHI collected in here. It's just the patient's name and email, so should not be a concern. We did also include some sample text if you want to offer it to all of your patients. And this might be a great practice building opportunity if things have slowed down with COVID, or you want to send out, to everyone to make this available to everyone. This email just is written more of as a newsletter style. And what you could do is offer this as a service for a charge, where you would have the patient complete or the client complete the assessment, send it to you, and then you'd have a follow-up visit to review your nutritional recommendations for them. That might be something that you charge for at your hourly rate, put out some kind of special program around. Really, the sky's the limit with this. You could get very creative. But we did send also an example of an email that you could utilize for that. So either way, we would jump through to this patient landing page. This is a link that you'll be sending to your patient. And this just provides a little bit more information, watered down for your clients and patient base, about Diet ID and what it is that they're about to do. And then they would click here to go ahead and get started. When they click on there, they'll land on this page that starts to describe a little bit about what they're going to have to do. And then when they click to get started, they'll be prompted to set up a profile. This is not the Wellevate profile. If they have a Wellevate account or you have a Wellevate account, this is different. This is something they'll have to enter in their email and create a password here. So let me create one here, put in a password, and go ahead and create a profile. Then they'll be prompted to begin the assessment tool. So they get a little bit of information about how it works, and then they'll go ahead and get started. First, the patients will complete a couple of qualifying questions, and then they'll go through this or that type of assessment. So essentially what your patient will do is look at these two pictures and decide which of these pictures looks more like their standard diet. So I'll go through this, not with my own diet. Let's just kind of make up how a patient may respond. And as you see, every time they click, they're getting a little bit closer and closer to their diet. So you can see, for example, here, this is their previous choice. It's highlighted. You can see whether the milk they drink is 1% low fat or 2%. You know, do they tend to go for something like Cheerios, or I don't know what that is, like some kind of whole wheat Chex? You know, are they going more for sweet potatoes versus baked potatoes? You get the picture. So they can continue to hone it in. And these will get closer and closer with kind of more finite changes as they go until they really land on a diet that looks pretty close to what they're eating. Okay, so once they land on that selection, they say we've got it, they can click next. Then the tool will ask about any dietary restrictions that they have. And then they can put in their kind of demographic information here. So let's just put in a little bit of info. Let's say light exercise. And then it will spit out the result for them. So in this case, the patient was really consuming an American style diet, a quality level 6 out of 10. Okay, so even within the American diet, there's improvements they could make that could get them to a score of 10. It describes the diet a little bit here. The patient can rate how close they think the tool got to them. And then down below is a nutrient profile. So this will be shown to the patient. If you click view full list, you actually can get quite a lot of information here, not just about standard macronutrient intake for that patient, but also micronutrient intake when they scroll down below. This is really interesting because you're able to take this tool and really help to both refine the patient's diet to emphasize the nutrients that they're currently lacking, or think about supplementation of the nutrients that they're likely lacking in their diet. So really nice assessment here. And in just a second, Dina from Diet ID, one of their dietitians on staff, is going to walk you through how you can use that result even more effectively. Once the patient views that, they can take a look at other health goals that they have. Let's just say no in this case, keep their diet the same. And then it will be prompted to help the patient find their ideal diet. So what do they wish they were eating? So when they click next here, they give them the score of what they would like to be doing. So really what we see is where the patient is today, which was American style diet level 6, where they wish they should be. You might say, no, you should be on a Mediterranean diet with a quality of 10. You know, you have the opportunity to have some input in here as well, but this is just based upon that patient feedback, okay? And this shows the patient where they would be if they were consuming that style of diet. Now, again, just to keep in mind, all of the information as far as nutrient calculations comes from the algorithm behind it that actually matches the inputs and the calculations that would have been done with that full food frequency questionnaire. So really, really great opportunity. You can see here with the Quality Style 9 diet, they do give a meal plan that the patient could choose to follow. But what I really want to point out to you here, and this is very important, is the email copy we sent you directs patients to share their results with you. And they need to do this so that you can get access to it. So they can enter in their provider's email address. Put mine in here, and then share their results. Okay, they could choose to share it again if they want to. Maybe they want to send it to their partner or who knows what. And then their email server will open and they'll be prompted to send the report. Okay, and then they would just click send. Okay, so really easy for them to send those results. Now, Dina from Diet ID, as I mentioned, she's going to kind of talk you through how to interpret the results. So Dina, why don't you go ahead and jump in now?
When a patient completes a Diet ID assessment, they will be prompted to share their results with you via email. Simply open that email and click on the link. You will be brought to a page that looks like this. This is a sample patient assessment snapshot, which is a comprehensive report of the diet assessment. Here, you can view the results and send them to the patient chart, share with other providers, save as a PDF file, or print if you wish. To copy the link and share with others, simply click on this Copy Shareable Link button, and then paste that unique URL to where it is needed in your communications. Note that we do hide personal health information like weight and BMI for HIPAA compliance reasons. The report shows the patient's first name and lists the health goals and any dietary restrictions at the top, followed by a summary of details about the patient's current diet, the diet ID, which in this case is an American-style diet, with a quality of 4 out of 10, and the goal diet, the diet ideal, which in this case is a DASH low-sodium diet plan. Under each badge is a brief description of the diet. If you click on the View Meal Plan button, you can download a sample meal plan for the ideal diet, which you can use as a guide to help the patient get an idea of what a typical day of eating this way looks like. We provide a detailed list of what each diet can include, what it limits, and what it does not include, followed by a nutrient breakdown of each. The report shows estimated intake values for both the ID and ideal diets, as well as the differences for each nutrient, which reflect the respective nutrient increases and decreases necessary to achieve the goal diet. You will also see the food group changes the patient would need to make in order to achieve the goal diet. Nutrient shifts are interesting, but can be too much information for some patients, which is why we also provide a list of food group shifts the patient should focus on. For example, here you learn that the patient should work on increasing healthier snacks, unsaturated fats, fish, and reduced fat dairy products, while decreasing fatty, salty, and sweet condiments, sugar, sweets, and salty snacks. With that guidance, the patient can successfully go from American 4 to DASH 10. The box below that provides actual estimates of each food group for the current diet, for the goal diet, and the amount of servings to aim to increase, those in green, or decrease, those in red. To accompany this, we also provide you with a detailed instruction sheet that explains exactly what a serving size is for each of the food groups, so you can use this as a quantitative educational tool for diet improvement. Overall, this snapshot helps you help the patient get into the nitty-gritty of their diet education, personalizing the experience and allowing for a pointed discussion with visual examples, which limits burden on you and other healthcare providers. While you're viewing these reports, you can click on this chat button on the bottom right if you have any questions for the Diet ID staff. If it's after hours, please feel free to leave a message for us there, and we'll get back to you within 1 business day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dina, for spending a few minutes to talk us through that assessment and how the practitioners can really get the most out of it. That was really helpful. So we're really excited, everyone. We hope you give this a shot. Again, this assessment lives on those Emerson pages, so you can always revisit it. But save that link. I encourage you to give it a try. Share your feedback with us. Let us know if you have any questions. And again, this is something that we are paying for in full. We actually pay a fee every time your patient completes an assessment. And we're happy to do that because we feel like this is a great way that you can really build your practice and hone in your recommendations to really be focused on what your patients and your clients need. So I hope you like it. Feel free to send us an email. Let us know if you have any questions. And otherwise, enjoy your rest of your week. Take care.